it's Monday the 12th of December, and welcome to your 5-minute briefs from Seoul. I'm your host, Heejin Koo. In our first installment of this month, we'll update you with an end to South Korean cargo truckers' strike, how South Korea may do away with the last remnant distancing regulation, its indoor mask mandate early next year, and the government's advisory for companies to be wary of North Korean IT developers using fake IDs. We'll also explore how South Korean drug makers are venturing overseas following SK Biopharmaceuticals' success in the US and Europe, and concerns about rising prices for eggs and poultry amid a protracted bird flu outbreak. Let's begin our 5-minute roundup. Unionized truckers voted to end their 16-day walkout amid a lack of public support and the South Korean government's zero-tolerance policy that led to return-to-work orders. The Cargo Truckers' Solidarity, under the Korean Confederation of Trade Unions, voted on Friday to call off a general strike that began on November 24th. Less than 14% of its 26,144 union members cast their ballots, and of that number, nearly 2/3 voted to return to work, while the rest wanted to hold out. The dismal voting rate was an indication of a majority of their members' fatigue from the protracted walkout. The union was under heavy pressure from both the government and the public after their actions resulted in losses in shipments worth 1.3 trillion won and 2.6 trillion won for the nation's steel and petrochemical industries, respectively. The government issued return-to-work orders for drivers hauling cement, steel and petrochemical products, citing concerns over the strike's impact on the local economy. Those that failed to resume their routes would face possible jail terms, penalties, and the risk of having their license revoked. A Gallup Korea survey of 1,000 adults nationwide showed only 21% of respondents supported the strike, while 71% said truckers should return to talks after resuming their routes. Truckers were demanding a more permanent and expanded minimum pay system before it expires at the end of this year. Although they have yet to continue discussions with the government, the opposition Democratic Party unilaterally pushed a bill through a parliamentary committee later that same day, extending the safe trucking freight rate system for another 3 years until the end of 2025. Meanwhile, South Korean health authorities are preparing to downgrade a nationwide indoor mask requirement to a recommendation, while maintaining its mandate for high-risk facilities such as nursing homes, hospitals, and public transportation. The Central Disease Control Headquarters said on Friday that authorities are carefully reviewing policies overseas that require masks to be worn in medical and social welfare facilities and on public transportation. This comes as the central city of Daejeon and South Chungcheong province threaten to locally end indoor mask requirements contrary to existing guidelines set by the central government. A CDC official added that the agency will finalize a roadmap after discussions with experts scheduled for the 15th and the 26th of December, and decide whether to finally bid farewell to what may be the last remnant of COVID-19 quarantine mandates in the new year. While the timing for the end of the mask mandate will factor in the number of daily infections, serious cases, the death toll, and quarantine capacity, authorities say they plan to make a decision after a comprehensive overview of infectious trends. South Korea urged local businesses to exercise caution and strengthen identification protocols to avoid hiring North Korean IT developers and engineers using fake ID. It believes the North is funneling foreign currency from illegal cyber activities towards nuclear and missile development. The Ministries of Foreign Affairs, Science and Unification, as well as the National Intelligence Service, issued a joint advisory on Thursday calling for the private sector to be wary of employing North Korean IT specialists by mistake. The agency said a preemptive inspection showed that there have been attempts by individuals suspected to be North Korean IT workers posing as other nationals using photoshopped IDs to gain employment in or win contract projects from South Korean companies. These North Korean developers and engineers can forge identities or borrow other people's accounts when seeking work or joining job search websites. There are some cases of North Koreans teaming up with international IT specialists as subcontractors on a project. The government advised firms to exercise caution as taking on North Korean IT hands would not only tarnish their reputations, but also violate related domestic and international sanctions, including the Inter-Korean Exchange and Cooperation Act, as well as UN Security Council resolutions. They also warned that these specialists may target highly valuable data and information or embed malware on secure servers. The agency said the North's IT labor force brings in hundreds of millions of dollars in foreign currency every year, adding that most of their revenues are funneled into the North's development of nuclear weapons and missiles. South Korean drug manufacturers are seeking to emulate the success of SK Biopharmaceuticals with its launch of anti-seizure tablets in North America and more recently in Europe. The drug-making arm of SK Group said on Friday that its European partner Angelini Pharma, a unit under the Italian Angelini Industries, has won sales approval from French drug authorities for cenobamate, SK's anti-epilepsy treatment. Cenobamate, an anti-seizure medication, was discovered and developed by SK Biopharmaceuticals and SK Life Science. It launched sales in the US in 2019 under the brand name Xcopri and is now available under the name Ontosri in Germany, the UK, Italy, Spain, and France, accounting for about 73% of the total value of Europe's epilepsy treatment market. Other South Korean drug makers are benchmarking SK's forays overseas. Donga ST acquired a stake in Boston-based Neurobo Pharmaceuticals in September for a strategic collaboration to develop Donga's cardiometabolic therapies and diabetes treatments for the US market. Yuhan Corp teamed up with Hanover-based Processor Pharmaceuticals in August. Daeung Pharmaceuticals shored up its partnership with US partner Evolus last year, while Hanmi Pharmaceutical made a strategic $20 million investment in Spectrum Pharmaceuticals of Henderson, Nevada earlier this year. According to the Korea Pharmaceutical and Biopharma Manufacturers Association, the global pharmaceutical and biomedicine market is valued at $1.16 trillion as of 2020, with an estimated annual growth of 4 to 7%. The domestic market as of 2020 stood at a mere $19.6 billion, or just 1.6% of the global market share. A protracted outbreak of a highly pathogenic avian influenza in South Korea is pushing up wholesale prices of eggs and ducks amid concern of a possible supply shortage. The government's AI response headquarters confirmed a total of 36 cases of the highly pathogenic H5N1 virus as of Friday, more than 50 days after detecting its first case of the season on October 19th. Authorities say that the AI risks are higher this year than the last, as the first outbreak came 3 weeks earlier and as cases are cropping up from more regions. According to the Korea Institute for Animal Products Quality Evaluation, wholesale duck prices hit 5,046 won per kilogram on Wednesday, up 10.7% from a month ago, while the wholesale price of 10 eggs rose by 9.2% to 1,933 won. The acceleration and high infectious nature of the virus with an enhanced ability to replicate or infect more bird species, has prompted other Asian and European nations to raise their alerts. That wraps it up for this episode of 5-Minute Briefs from Seoul. This has been Hee Jin Koo for KBSI, wishing you a great week.